Franks. The Franks were a confederation of Germanic tribes that was originally composed of a mix of groups settled between the Rhine and the Weser rivers. The two most prominent of these tribes were the Ripuarians and the Salians, who led the others. They most likely formed their confederation in Germany around the region of modern-day Mainz. The origin of the name, Franks, is debated, as some historians have claimed a link with the English word, frank, meaning truthful, while others reject this claim, citing the more probable origin as Franca or Fracca, the Germanic/Norse word for the javelin the Franks favored in battle. As the Romans routinely referred to them as ferocious and cited their use of the throwing axe, in Latin, a francisca, this is another and most likely source for their name. Point of origin is claimed in semi-mythological works, such as the Chronicle of Fredegar from the 7th century CE, as Troy, but this is rejected by historians. From the 5th century CE onwards, as Roman power declined in northern Gaul, the Franks expanded into Belgium and northern France. Later on, the Franks resumed their expansion process and, by the first half of the 6th century CE, they gained control over part of central and southern France and a small portion of northern Spain. During their interaction with the Romans, the Franks raided the Roman Empire on numerous occasions, but some of the Franks also served as soldiers in the Roman army. Several powerful Frankish leaders are mentioned in the ancient records, such as Childeric and his son Clovis I, who consolidated Frankish power and also converted to Christianity. Several powerful Frankish leaders are mentioned in the ancient records, such as Childeric and his son Clovis I, who consolidated Frankish power and also converted to Christianity. Their expansion continued until the 8th century CE, during the time of Charlemagne, when the Frankish territory occupied most of Western Europe. The Franks appear in Latin sources for the first time in 257 CE, mentioned among the enemies of Rome in northern Gaul. They were a threat not only by land but also on the sea, the Salians excelling in naval combat and the Ripuarians on land. Late in the 3rd century CE, some of the Franks joined the Saxons in the southern part of the North Sea and the English Channel, turning into raiders, preying on shipping lanes, and also raiding the coast of Britain and Gaul. Under the rule of Emperor Maximianus, the Romans signed a treaty with the Franks in 287 CE. As part of the agreement, several Franks became enlisted in the Roman army. The presence of Franks under Roman service increased until eventually, during the 4th century CE, the Franks were the largest non-Roman contingent of the Roman Western fighting force. Interestingly, some Franks held their status both within the Frankish and the Roman hierarchy, such as King Malibods, who had a long military career in the Roman army and is also described as a king of the Franks. By 350 CE, the Franks already had a solid presence in northeast Gaul, but it was during the second half of the 5th century CE, under the leadership of Childeric, 440-481/482, when they initiated another phase of expansion and became a major power. 451 CE, Attila the Hun invaded Gaul, and the Franks joined the Romans and the Visigoths to resist the invasion. Attila's conquest was halted in June 451 CE at the Battle of the Catalonian Plains, in present-day France, and he retreated from Gaul. The Franks continued to provide military support to Rome to fight against imperial enemies, including the Visigoths in 463 CE and the Saxons at Angers in 469 CE. In 481 CE the Franks had a new ruler, Clovis I, 466-511/513 CE, Childeric's son, who would found the Merovingian dynasty. Appointed as king at the young age of 15, Clovis became a powerful ruler who took advantage of the dying Roman order. As early as 486 CE, he managed to push the boundaries of the Frankish kingdom to the Loire, in central France. Fighting against Romans and barbarians alike, he extended the Frankish kingdom and consolidated its power by conquering Gaul and unifying it under the rule of his Merovingian dynasty. His descendants would rule much of Gaul for the next 200 years. The Merovingian dynasty was a Frankish lineage that had already been established by Childeric. In order to sustain the uniqueness of the Merovingians, the Franks came up with a fictional account about the origin of Childeric's lineage. This story began with a bull-like creature, which had mated in the sea waters with the wife of Clodio, a Frankish noble. The woman gave birth to Merovech, the semi-legendary founder of the Merovingian dynasty, who was supposed to be the father of Childeric. As with the accounts of the Franks originating from Troy with King Priam as their ancestor, this story was created to provide a noble pedigree for Childeric in keeping with ancient pagan tales regarding the births of demigods.